Welcome back. It is Monday, October 8th, and bucket of honesty, I know I did this 31-day challenge. I took yesterday off, had a real busy weekend. I was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, a home away from home, where I got to enjoy two of my all-time favorite things in life, and that is cheese curds and microbreweries. I went to a couple of my favorite breweries. I went to Mobcraft, which makes a lot of really cool, eclectic drinks. I went to Sprecher's, who are really well known for their hard root beer. And then I also went to City Lights, which is just a really cool, nostalgic brewery, and got a coconut porter there, which is to die for. And stay tuned because we might be chatting about it. Second piece of bucket of honesty, I might pivot away from the 31-day challenge because if I reflect on last week, I loved half of the videos I reviewed and only liked the other half. And I don't think that we should necessarily be wasting our times with some of the more mediocre ones. I think I might pivot and maybe every Monday just put out one solid video and something I truly love. I hope that's okay. Let's waste no more time. This week's video is Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. One of my all-time favorite movies, and I can't believe it, but it came out in 2006. It has definitely been a cult classic. I've gone to several horror conventions, and I almost always see the iconic mask that's in the movie. It's somewhere in the horror convention there, and I'm so happy to say that it's now on Amazon Prime. So if you're an Amazon Prime member, get on it. It is a great movie that really focuses on more humor than anything else. And let me explain what it is. So Behind the Mask focuses on Leslie Vernon, who is this serious slasher serial killer, basically the next up-and-coming Michael Myers, and he grants permission to a small documentary crew to basically follow him as he methodically chooses his next victims, why he chooses them, and how he basically plans to go about killing them. This movie is a huge success because of that character played by Nathan Basil, who is very funny and charming, and then towards the end of the movie, pretty wickedly evil. The first half of the movie, you basically want to invite this guy to your next barbecue because he's so awesome, and then towards the end of the movie, you want to quickly resend that invitation because he's clearly a homicidal maniac. That is Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon, in a very few words. Few characters on screen, all practical effects, and the ambiance, again, big fan of ambiance they produce. And you can tell that this movie was created and written by true horror enthusiasts. There's not much clichéness that's going on. Actually, I take that back. There's a lot of clichéness, but it's done very intentionally. Very unique, one-of-a-kind movie. Behind the Mask has its peaks and valleys, where it has suspense, then there's laughs, suspense, and then more laughs. So there's a really nice variety of kind of different moods that go on in this movie. Ultimately, I give Behind the Mask a 9 out of 10, which is a solid review. And with Behind the Mask, if you're a fan of comedy and you don't mind a little bit of suspense, you're going to love this movie. If you're a fan of horror, you're going to love this movie because of the care and attention that the writers and directors played towards it. It is just a well put together movie. The pacing is nice. It's a low budget film, but still, that does not hold this movie back whatsoever. And for Behind the Mask, I'm going to pair it with City Lights Coconut Porter. That's right, Milwaukee's own City Lights Brewery. And this is such a perfect beer for Behind the Mask because this beer is a lot like Leslie Vernon, who's ultimately kind of a sweet character, a little goofy, but ultimately has a dark soul. Coconut Porter's gonna be great for it. Let's get after it. I have to plagiarize the back of the can because it's written so well. Notes of coffee, chocolate, nuttiness, and aromatic toasted coconut are accentuated with Madagascar vanilla beans. As somebody who doesn't go crazy with dark beers, this is one I absolutely love. Breaking up a fancy glass. Cheers. You can definitely smell the vanilla beans. It is a damn good beer. I'm a huge fan of it. Again, when you're going after a movie like Behind the Mask, it's ultimately just a fun movie. And when you're enjoying this nice fun movie, you just need a smooth beer. You don't want anything too hard, too bitter. This is just fine. I think it's a 5.3% ABV, so it's a little-ish up there in terms of the alcohol, but still not too overpowering. I say 2 of these should be perfect with Behind the Mask. This is such a good beer. All right, guys, I'll see you next week. Next Monday, we'll chat about another movie, another beer, so stay tuned.